Garry Kasparov writes that if Carlsen can rekindle the world's fascination with the royal game, we will soon be living in the Carlsen era.
I've always been competitive. And I never liked losing. I never thought that losing is a natural part of the game, and I think that's the way it has to be if you want to be the best.
And in fact, that some people call you the Mozart of chess. Creative, brilliant, young.
That's
master of all that he sees.
I don't know. I think it's not the worst person to be compared to.
No, that's
sure.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And I think also Mozart had a very natural talent for what he was doing. Yeah. And like me, I think he practiced a lot from an early age. So and that's eventually that's what you do. You learn everything there is to learn, and then you start to invent yourself as well.
How will you prepare for Anand?
I don't know, because I think a lot of the things that I'm doing right now are working out. I think that's fair to say.
Yes,
so
it is.
I'll try not to
just continue what you're doing and extend.
Yeah, and make some small improvements. Be a little bit sharper in the openings. Be a little bit better physically prepared. Be a little bit better at everything, and try also not to over focus on preparation. Just
you'll know him, like everything about him. You'll know. You'll know when you're inside his head.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he will do. He will do the same. The only difference is that it won't be enough.
He does not have enough to beat you.
I mean, that's my belief that I can beat anyone, and otherwise there wouldn't be any point in me playing the match.
You believe? How long will it take you to beat him?
I think the length of the match will probably be 12 games.
Yeah.
So it's first to 6.5 points. So if I get there in the end, I'm going to be very happy, no matter how long it takes. No, but that's the way it is. I think you need to be absolutely confident, and I think it's always better to be overly confident than pessimistic, because I realize sometimes after games that I was actually way too confident here. I was way too optimistic. But if you're not optimistic, if you're not looking for your chances, you're gonna miss opportunities. I realize from time to time, people who are not particularly strong players, but still they're very good players, but they could be one of the best if they just had more confidence. So, and when I'm analyzing with them, when I'm looking at chess, I realize they know everything about the game, but nevertheless they cannot play.
There's a missing thing.
Yeah.
It's like a winner's edge.
Yeah, you need to have that. You need to have that edge. You need to have that confidence. You need to have that absolute belief that you're the best and you'll win every time.
Were you born with that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you're born with something so that when you learn chess, those two things merged. They came together. This confidence, and once you had the skills, the confidence served your skill, and your skills served your confidence.
Yeah, but it didn't come immediately for me. So,
what age did it come?
I think it only came a few years ago.
Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 22. So I think at about age 16 or 17, I realized, that I'm. But because
you realized what?
That I'm probably going to be the best at some point, and I need to show that. I need to be more confident and need to take a different approach, because before that, sometimes I would be too pessimistic, like I was
describing the other people.
Yeah. And at first that change in approach was a total disaster, because I would lose several games because I would constantly overestimate my chances and so on. But eventually that became a good thing, because when my playing strength caught up to my optimism.
Yes, exactly. That's well said.
Then that was it.
That was it. I mean, I love the idea that at 16, you knew that you were going to be the world champion.
I didn't know, but I had a good idea. Yeah.
Well, because you were beating everybody, or because you just.
No, it's just a feeling I had, because before that I was always surprised at how far I was going, and then at that point I realized that now it's time to.
You must understand this. Now, I don't want to embarrass you, but you must understand this following idea, because of your talent first, experience second, the way you look, your personality. This could be huge. This could be huge. I mean, but you can be an international figure of really, in the world of chess, incomparable.
I hope so, both for myself and also
for the game.
And for the game.
Yeah. It's a great pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.